speed.
Sound production.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production. Take 2.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? Now, we're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Or, your father was right. You were an idiot, and everything you watched was stupid. So buckle up, movie aficionados. Over-the-top gore? Check. Over-embellished action? Check. Gratuitous nudity? Double check. Storylines so absurd you could drive a semi-truck through those plot holes. Oh yeah, some of those movies didn't even know what a movie plot was. And that's the way we liked it. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
Roll them and action. I like the Daffy Duck kind of sounding lisp thing at the end there. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. We come on here and record our podcast live. I'm still sick.
Are you?
Yeah, it's a summer cold and I'm on it is almost 2 weeks now.
Jesus.
What was I saying? Yeah, we're going to try to, I was going to talk to you about this. Yeah, we're going to try a giveaway.
Are we?
Yeah. Been researching it and we're going to try doing it near the end of October.
Oh, fun.
It'll probably take me that long to figure out how to do it. But it'll be our final movie, which I'm not sure what that's going to be yet. I think I have an idea, but I'll run it by you after.
Okay.
So how this works, not to give away the show, we start the show by reviewing our movie that we previewed last week. And last week we previewed 2007's 30 Days of Night. We checked out the reviews, looked at posters, and we checked out some forum posters on this one. Taglines, box office. We watched the trailer. We both had high hopes for this movie. And we'll get to that shortly as we go over the movie and give our score. And then we are still on that Halloween road. Yes, it's just it's not even September, is it?
No, not yet. That's on Friday. We're 2 days away from September.
But we record these way in advance.
We do.
Which means we'll be done long before Halloween actually gets here. We'll be watching Christmas movies by then.
Probably, yeah.
On the Halloween week. But we are moving forward with our Halloween episodes, and we have 3 versus episodes, and we are previewing the first of those, which is Child's Play 1988 versus 2019. And this is really an excuse, well, for me to watch the 2019 version because I have not seen it.
I have not seen it as well, and it has been years and years and years since I've seen the first Child's Play.
Oh, yeah. And I've been meaning, I'm not a purist. Don't get me wrong, like when it comes to, like, because getting all this stuff ready for the Child's Play stuff, there's a lot of hate for the 2019 version.
Oh, I do not doubt it. I do not doubt it. There's always a lot of hate, though, for any kind of remake or reboot for a movie that made a mark, especially horror.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
if there's a horror movie that made a mark, and then everybody's like, we're going to remake it, everybody's going to lose their shit.
Yeah.
And that's to be expected.
Yeah. And a lot of people lost their shit on this one.
I
But
know.
I've actually been wanting to see this movie.
Mm.
And just for some reason, the movies that have just been piling up. It's just been lost in a long list of to watch on Netflix, to watch on Amazon, to watch on Disney. Yeah, but we'll get to that shortly. It's funny because when the last 7 podcasts we've done, 2 were comedies and the other 5 were horrors. Like Leprechaun 2 and Grizzly 2, if you can call them horrors. But yeah, so it's not a real stretch going to a long line of on the road to Halloween horror movies for us.
Yeah. We should probably shake this up a little bit before we go into Christmas. We should have anything but horror month.
Yeah. Maybe November, no horror movies.
No,
We gotta have one.
November.
Yeah, no horror November. Because we have to have one kind of. I love Christmas horror movies.
Oh God, me too.
Yeah, so we have to have at least one in December.
Oh, 100%.
So how was your week?
Week was okay. Work is flying by, which means I feel like I don't have enough hours in the day to get all the work done. Uh, got got together with some family over the weekend, ran some errands. I was super boring this week. It was all
Mm.
work, family, and life. Stupid life. How about you?
I've been sick still, 2 weeks now. The only
Yeah.
plus side is that I haven't been doing a lot, but watching TV.
Mm,
I watched No Hard Feelings with, uh, what's her name?
that sounds so
She's
familiar.
really famous.
I believe you.
She won an Academy Award. She's young. Hunger Games girl.
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence.
That's it.
And
Yeah,
now I know exactly what movie you're talking about.
yeah, yeah. She does full frontal nudity in that movie,
Does she?
and not in a romantic way. She did it completely for comedy.
I believe that would be her choice.
There
I
was
would not want
nothing
like, there's a
sexy or
scene full of
romantic about
bullshit.
it at all.
Yeah,
What's
no.
that?
I feel like she's the kind of actress who would do it for comedy, but not for a sex scene.
Yeah, no, no,
Yeah, she'd be like,
no.
"That shit, I'm not getting
And
hard."
it was a funny scene.
Of course it was. I really like her as an actress, and I feel like she's really great in some interviews. Some of them I'm like, "Mm," but if you get her on, like, a British chat show, she is the greatest guest because she will just start talking, and she does not, like, limit or censor herself. She's just telling the most embarrassing stories about herself, and everybody's just like, "Go on," and she does, and it's great.
I watched The Meg 2.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny because I think it's, like, $1 more expensive to buy it than to rent it,
Yeah, yeah, I bought it.
but on
I
Apple
paid the 20
TV.
bucks or 25 bucks, whatever it was.
Yeah, it's like 25 bucks. On Apple TV, they have a Meg 2 the Meg bundle. So you can get the Meg and the Meg 2 for $34.99.
Yeah, see,
I saw
and
that today and I was like, "I'm totally buying that this weekend."
I bought the Meg 1, as soon as I like, a month ago when I wanted to go see the Meg 2, and it
Yeah.
was on sale for 9, so I pretty much got it for around the
Oh, okay.
35 bucks, yeah. So, yeah,
Yeah, no, I saw it on Apple TV and I was like, "Ooh, bundle.
yeah,
Let's do that." Because I was like, am I really gonna go to the movie theater? Probably not this weekend, but I wanna see the Meg too."
I did catch up on a bunch of movies, I can't remember a lot of them now, but those were the 2 major ones, the newest
Mhm.
ones. I started watching Silo on Apple TV, great show, and, the Chucky series, I finally started watching that a few
Oh,
days
yeah?
ago. I just finished episode 2. Yeah.
Mm.
And it is great.
See, I have to temper myself because if I start a series, especially one where the entire season has been posted, or if there are multiple seasons,
Yeah,
I end up binging it and I don't sleep for 3 days,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is hard to do when you're, expected to work a full-time job.
I know, I did that with Cobra Kai, and they all melded together. I didn't know what episode was which,
Yeah,
and
it's it can be a little excessive where I'm like,
yeah,
just one more episode," and then it's like 5 o'clock in the morning and you're like,
yeah.
"God damn it, I have to be up for work in 2 hours."
Okay, so welcome back to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. We are so happy you came back. I have watched 30 Days of Nights. Have you watched 30 Days of Night?
I have.
Okay, we're going to switch things up here. We're going to dive right into this blood-soaked massacre of a film because there was a lot of blood and it was a massacre.
Now when you say massacre.
There was a lot of death on this
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
All kinds of death.
Oh, lots of death, lots of blood.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to start going through it. Okay, so the town of Barrow, Alaska, is preparing for its annual 30 Days of Night, a period during the winter in which the sun will not be seen for a month. During our trivia segment, which is only on our live recordings every Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, we learned that Barrow, now called a different name, I'm not even going to attempt to butcher it again. It is actually without sun for 67 days a year. That would be really cool to see. but I digress. Sorry. Some inhabitants leave for Fairbanks or other parts south. As the town gets ready, the stranger, Ben Foster, comes ashore from a large ship. Once in Barrow, he sets about sabotaging the town, stealing and burning cell phones, killing all the sled dogs, in the belief that the vampires will make him one of them if he helps them with their plans. Great opening.
I love this opening so much.
Yeah.
It is fantastic. Like, they do a little bit of the, like, okay, here's a little bit of the story of the town of Barrow, and then all of a sudden you see the expansive snow
Yeah.
and this one guy walking through it, and you're like, you're really nailing this whole it's very isolated. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There is no help. And I was like, yes.
Yeah. And it's not even dark yet. Like the sun hasn't set, but
No.
very atmospheric, very creepy,
Mm-hmm.
and very subtle. A subtle way
Yes.
that they did it. Yeah. It looks great. The score is already setting the tone.
Mm-hmm. The
I
score
think-
for the entire movie is just amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
So good.
Is a good score. Like at this point, I'm very excited. Barrow's sheriff, Eben Olson, investigates all these crimes. And he does so, as he does so, he learns that his estranged wife, Stella Olson, missed the last plane out of town and will have to spend the 30-day period in Barrow. We get Eben and Deputy Billy check in on the crime of the stolen melted cell phones. They head back. We see the dogs freaking out in the kennel. They get a call something is wrong at the dog kennel farm, whatever it is, the sleigh dog shop. We also see Stella trying to get her work done in town so she can catch that last plane and not run into her estranged husband. Eben also gives a citation to Bo, the snowplow driver, if only, and he says to remind him that he is actually part of this small community. So it's we're being introduced to all these characters. The pilot,
it's setting the scene. It really is introducing you to absolutely everybody who's in town, what their roles are, how they interact with each other. It's a really, really great, well-paced. Like it doesn't feel overly slow. It doesn't feel like you're being rushed through the introductions.
Yeah.
And you're given like expository information about every character, and you're like, I didn't need to know that. It's very much like an introduction, a joke, a laugh, a quick note. Like, why do you even bother giving him a citation?
Yeah.
He lives out on the South Ridge. It's just a nice way to remind him that he's still part of town. And you're like, oh yeah, that was a natural conversation.
Yeah. And Ben Foster, the stranger, is doing all these things, and Billy and Eben are checking it out and introducing us to these characters. Like I said, the pilot and Carter, who runs, I don't even know what that place is called. The big place.
The isn't it the refinery?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, because there's the main refinery that's in town. That's the really big place.
Well, it's because someone took the plane parts or the helicopter parts and dumped them, and they were destroyed at this place. It went through that grinder.
Oh, I think
thing.
that was the garbage recycling thing.
Yeah.
The
I want to say the Utidor or the Utilidor or something.
Utilidorm.
Yeah, okay.
Utilidom? Something like that. It was Utila something. But that's their utilities thing where they do the recycling and the garbage and all of that stuff because they don't have a landfill out there.
No. Oh, can you imagine the polar bears they would attract?
Oh, Jesus.
And apparently they're even meaner than the regular bears.
They really are.
Yeah.
They will rip your face off.
Yeah, apparently they're not nice at all. I've heard many a horror story of polar
Coca-Cola
bears. They look so cute in those Coca-Cola.
I know, right? It's fuckers lying to us about polar bears.
Although they try to avoid one another, when Eben confronts the stranger in the town diner, Stella helps to subdue him and take him to the station house. So the stranger, and again played by Ben Foster, is one of my favorite actors. He's I don't know if he's considered underrated, but he's a great actor.
He's definitely considered a character actor.
Yes. And Billy made sure that the last plane was gone. That she didn't catch the plane, and Ben, the stranger, kept saying that there was nothing that was going to help them out of town. We also see the town of 500 plus go down to 150 when Billy changes the population on the "Welcome to Borough" sign. So we get an idea that there are a lot of people. But there's still. I think it was like 158 or something like that.
Yeah. And
Uh,
it's interesting to I love that because I didn't realize how important that point would be
mhm.
because you see it and you're like, "Oh, 158, okay, cool." And then you see how many people actually survive by the end of this movie, and you're like,
Yeah,
"Wow,
yeah.
they
Uh,
take everybody out."
and then before this, at the diner, we also see Stella racing to catch the plane. She gets
Mm,
into that accident. The fender bender. Eben had to go out and check on the dog, so he sent Billy. I would have been a little more pissed at Billy because Billy missed that plane on purpose.
yes. Yes, he did, and I do not appreciate Billy doing that, but
Yeah.
then again, spoiler alert, Billy is not one for making good decisions in this movie.
No, no. Um, and then we also find out there was a lot of dogs that were killed. It wasn't a
Mm,
couple dogs. There were quite a few dogs.
every dog.
Yeah,
Every dog died.
yeah. From the jail cell, the stranger taunts Eben, Stella, and Eben's teenage brother Jake and his grandmother, telling them that the death is coming for them. Just then, vampires attack the local telecommunications center and power supply, rendering the town dark and cut off from the outside world. Eben goes to the telecommunications center and finds the operator's head on a spike. Great first kill. It didn't
Fantastic.
show a lot. Like you
Mm-mm.
saw the figures kind of buzzing around and kind of surround him, and they were running in and out of frame, but they were out of focus, and it was shot quick shots from different angles, and it was kind of disorienting seeing it, but
Yeah.
it was well done. Um,
For the first few kills, from the dogs to telecommunications guy on a spike to oh god, who died right after that? I think I made a
uh,
note about it, but anyways, the first few kills, you don't see oh yeah, and the refinery workers.
yeah,
You don't see who's doing the killing.
yeah,
You
you get
see
there's a
shapes.
group.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know there's a group, you know they're moving fast, and you know that they're like people size, they're not animals.
no,
Or at least they're walking on 2 legs. Um, so there's still a lot of an air of mystery to who's doing this.
yeah,
It's not like they're just strutting into town or they give you you still get the gore, you still get the almost surprise kill
yeah,
because you don't necessarily see everything, like, especially the refinery worker. They literally just tossed him out while he was choking on his own blood, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
look at I forgot about you."
yeah, yeah. No, and it's yeah, I did like when he's surrounded, you see something cut his throat and
Yeah.
jump on him.
Mhm.
And because this not it wasn't in the plot, those three workers, refinery workers, the residential swingers, um, are trying to decide who's home to go to have a three-way. Excellent choice to spend 30 days in the dark
I
if you're
mean,
if that's your thing.
what else are you gonna do? What else?
And here I am, the square. I'd be catching up on my Netflix movies and shit while they're having sex
It's okay.
parties.
I'd probably just be reading my books. So, I mean, it's fine.
But it was a great kill because the first guy, like, well, they are literally standing together talking about, doing each other, and they were playing paper, rock, and scissors,
Mhm.
and he's pulled away so fast that the other two are like, "Where the fuck did Frank go?" His name wasn't
Yep.
Frank. I don't
No.
remember his name. It doesn't matter because he drops out of the air and like he's still choking on his own
I
blood.
think his name was Gabe,
Oh, could have been, yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. I
Now
just
his dumbass friend goes to help him, and then Denise, my spiritual animal, is like, "Fuck that," and just bolts.
honestly, when she starts running and you see her run,
Oh, she's gone.
like, she
Didn't
takes
even check
off.
to see if he's
Nope.
okay.
She
Nope.
does not look back. She does not pause.
Nope.
She doesn't, like, run while looking. No. Fuck that shit. She's
Yeah.
like, "Nope," and dashes out of there, and the guy just stands there
Yeah, checking to
and
see,
watches
like,
her run, and
yeah,
my first thought was, "You're a fucking moron."
yeah. She knew she didn't know what happened, but whatever did happen, she knew it
She
was
knew it was
bad
bad. Yep.
and that she needed to get the fuck out. Yeah, he's like, "Are you okay, buddy?" Nope,
Yeah,
not her.
he went to go and she was like, "Nope, bye."
She doesn't even see if the second guy got killed, but when she gets to that
No.
diner, she's like, "Yeah, they both those bitches are
Yep.
dead." So,
She wasn't sticking around to find out, and
no.
this is why she's a smart one.
Yes. Yes, very smart. So yeah, the kills so far are great. Um, he and Stella, Eben and Stella, go through town, warning all the Wrens to lock themselves indoors and load all weapons. This is the plot.
Mhm.
Actually, okay, so it missed something. The women in the kitchen, the couple who own the dogs, he's
Yes.
all upset, sitting with his gun in the living room. She's like, "Come eat." A vampire jumps through the window. This is our first real good look at the vampire.
Mhm.
Um, he takes her out and grabs her and jumps out the window. Husband comes into the kitchen and sees her being taken out. Like an idiot, goes after her. Like I said when I watched the trailer, I'd be in the car with my kids.
I know.
Well, the
I
ones
know
that were
you would.
fast enough to follow me.
If
Uh,
they weren't in there by the time you put it into gear,
Yeah,
they're gone.
they're
That's it.
gone.
Nope, no more.
No, we lost them. They're done. She's being dragged under the houses because up there they don't have basements. They're on those
Mhm.
stilts. I guess that far north you can't have basements. And
No, because you're literally building usually on top of permafrost, and that's also why
yeah,
they have to be on the stilts. Otherwise, you won't be able to heat your home because it'll stay cold.
yeah.
Uh, these are random things that I know. How do I know this? Because after I watched this movie the first time, I decided I wanted to move to Alaska for a bit, or just the Arctic
Or just
Circle.
go to see. I would just like to go to that
No, I
and
was
witness
literally,
that
like, looking for jobs in, like, Yellowknife. I'm like, "How far north can I go while still having some, like" this was
internet.
my I was like, "If Indigo can still deliver to my house, how far
Yeah.
north can I
Yeah.
go?"
How far does Netflix reach?
I think this was even before this was
Oh,
before
this would have been before Netflix. Yeah,
streaming
streaming
Netflix.
Netflix.
It
How
was
far will
the time
Netflix
of
deliver
yes.
DVDs? But
Uh,
I loved how the vampire was dragging her under, pulling her out, and throwing her under the next house, and so
mhm,
on, to confuse or lose the husband with the gun. And the husband tries; he really does. Like,
he does. Points for that.
better man than me.
Correct.
I'd still be at that kitchen window, honey.
You'd be boarding up that kitchen window. Who are
Are you
you kidding?
are you coming back?
You would not be calling nobody. Don't
No,
even lie.
no, I
You'd
wouldn't
be
be
like,
lying.
"Nope, better cover this window now."
Yeah, I'd be like Denise. "Oh, fuck that. Something bad's happening." Meanwhile, the vampires. Okay, and what causes? Um, because he goes out and sees the guy on the spike, comes back, is mad at the stranger,
Mhm.
and then him and Stella go out to check. I think go look for Billy or something, to where something where Billy was heading, just slightly out of town, and that's when they stopped, got out of the truck, and then she looked. Did she have binoculars?
I feel like she did.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Get in the car," because
Yeah.
she saw the vampire running at them,
Yes.
and that's when it jumped and they realized, and then they were like, "Okay, everybody, get in your house, arm your weapons." So far, again, movie's great. Like I am really digging it.
I was having a great time through this movie because I don't it was amazing how they set the pace and everything was just enough to, like, ratchet up your anxiety just a touch.
Yeah,
So that by the time you got halfway through the movie, you were an anxious ball of nerves, and you didn't even realize you got there until you're
yeah.
like, "Oh, no, don't do that. Don't go there. Why would you do that?" Then you're like, "Oh, you're gonna die."
Meanwhile, the vampires, led by Marlowe, attack the town. The vampires speak in an ancient guttural
Uh-huh.
language, clarified by subtitles. Um, Unless they are shot in the head, bullets are useless against them. They slaughter most of the town, including Emma's grandmother, while the remaining survivors congregate at the diner. There were a lot of complaints and negative reviews about the excessive gore, or the repetitive killings. I did not get that feeling.
The whole point was to drive across that these vampires are violent.
Yeah,
They
animal. They're not romantic
yeah,
vampires. They are
this is not
these are
strategic.
creatures. They're
They're literally
monsters.
like it's a buffet for them.
Yeah,
That's what they're looking at this town as. It's a cut off town that's in darkness for 30 days. It's an all you can eat buffet. They are not there for like a 10-course civilized meal. They're
yeah,
like, "Nah, man, we're just gonna go in and go nuts."
yeah,
And you get that vibe where it's There is no discretion. There is no like they just go in full force.
Yeah.
And that you're supposed to see that because you're supposed to see that nobody gets spared.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah. And when the vampires full out go after the town, what a spectacular over the head shot. The amount of planning, stunt work, it was so amazingly choreographed. It is a highlight of any horror movie. I thought it was spectacular. Like
that aerial shot was fucking stunning.
People running out of their houses, people
Yes.
being attacked on balconies, ripped out of cars driving into whatever, vampires jumping, people losing limbs, one long continuous shot overhead going down the entire main street. Yeah, that too much gore. Like,
It was
piss off, you
so
babies.
well, that's the whole point. You're supposed to see the gore. You're supposed to feel the gore because this is not a serial killer movie. Like
No.
it's not
It's a
planned
massacre.
killings. It's a massacre.
Yeah.
But when they were doing the overhead shot, I even realized this. I was like, the screams are muted, like they're not super loud. So I was like, it really is. So you're flying above this scene. Get it in your head. This is what's happening, but you feel kind of almost detached from it.
Yes.
So great. It was
Yeah.
such a, and it makes you even more anxious. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're like, I can't help these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Nobody can.
Yes. No. And yeah, it was just, yeah. And there were, and you could, and there's so much going on.
Mhm.
Like I could watch that a few times. Like it was just a very fun,
Yeah.
scene. And yeah, I didn't, it's supposed to be violent. It's not too much gore. I think Twilight is streaming over Prime for all the
You're
rest
really
of the
taking
girls.
that like super personal. Did you just say for the rest of the girls?
Yeah, but by girls I
Sir.
mean, well, girls. No,
Sir.
You like Twilight? Oh,
I hate
Side note-
Twilight with a fiery passion.
the director of this movie
Mhm.
directed one of the Twilight movies after this.
Poor thing.
Yeah,
Well,
Which-
actually, here's the thing. The movies.
I'm sure he made lots of money.
Oh, 100%. The movies are better than the books. I only
Yeah,
managed
I've
to
heard
read
that.
one of the books, and it took me 3 days to read. And normally a book like that, I can finish in an afternoon, but it took me 3 days because I had to keep putting it down because I was literally raging at how shitty the writing was.
Yeah,
Like I was just like, there's so many superlatives, and it's basically a love story about an abusive relationship, and I was like, this is fucked up.
yeah,
And the girl just kind of always nods, and Bella, whatever the fuck her name is, she keeps nodding and saying, yes, yes. And you're just like, no, you fucking fool. This is all very weird and uncomfortable. I don't know why you're so into it. Also, vampires don't sparkle. I don't care who the fuck you are. I don't care what the fuck you. Vampires do not sparkle. This is a hard and fast rule.
yeah. I've
So,
seen
Madam
the
Twilight,
Twilight
go fuck
movies.
yourself.
Yeah,
Oh no, I've seen a few of them, and every time
I have
rolled
not
my
read the
eyes.
books.
Read
I
one
know
book.
I've heard that it's a hard read, but I was actually talking to a writing friend, and she was saying that when she's just finishing a book, and she was talking with her editor, and her editor made her redo a bunch of stuff. Her publisher wants her to write it and read because for a grade 8 reading level, because that is now the average. I don't want to say intelligence, but that is where the
Mm.
average reading is at. And she needed to like dumb down her book
Here's the
because we're
thing.
stupid.
You can write it at a grade 8
Yes,
reading
and it
level
doesn't-
and
yeah.
still have it be good.
Yes.
This was a load of shit.
Yeah.
Like I was like, who edited? Did you just give up? The editor must have given up a quarter of the way through and said, it's a pile of shit.
Yeah.
It's a pile of shit.
And she's made so much money.
And it
Never mind the
breaks
movies,
my motherfucking
the
heart.
books.
The
how-
books. The books sold so
Oh.
well. And I was like, who the fuck is reading this shit? And everybody's like, it's a love story. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a story about an abusive relationship, a controlling boyfriend who and a girl who has no mind of her own. I would not want my children reading this. But anyways, vampires don't sparkle. They do
Yes.
not sparkle.
I believe that was one of the reviews that we saw. There was no sparkling vampires in this movie.
Yes.
The vampires attack Eben and Stella, but Bo Bauer Brower, the local snowplow driver, rescues them. Everyone decides to go to the boarded up house of someone who had left town earlier that day. Actually, they go to the diner first, and Evan realizes his brother Jake made it. Grandma, not so lucky. Then they come up with the plan to make it to this house because it had a hidden attic and it was hard to see. The house has a hidden attic. Oh, there we go. The house has a hidden attic where they are able to hide. Marlowe finds the stranger in the jail and assures him that they will take care of him. Then, rather than turning him into a vampire as the stranger wished, Marlowe kills him. That's not good for word of mouth advertising.
Well, they don't need word of mouth advertising.
No. But obviously, they need more humans. Yeah.
And then kill them off.
Yeah. While I love the whole town massacre scene, I will say, as someone who appreciates budgeting your groceries and planning your meals, they seem to be a little greedy at the beginning. Like they must have known that it wasn't an endless supply. But it did look like they did save some humans. Like they did keep some around, but they didn't need to eat so much so fast.
Well, here's the thing: we don't know how much was eaten. We don't know if they're storing them somewhere.
Yeah, they could have been blood.
We don't know if like eating a whole person, lets them stay full for like a week.
Yeah, taking them somewhere and bottling them.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, but it's like watching like people at a buffet filling up on bread and potatoes.
Eat the money. Always eat the money.
Yeah. Marlowe orders the vampires not to transform anyone into a vampire. They will slaughter the town and then disappear in order to preserve modern humanity's belief that vampires are only bad dreams and nothing more. Over the next week, Eben, Stella, Jake, and 7 others stick it out in the attic. During this time, a stray survivor walks by crying for help, being used as bait by the vampires. Eben ventures out to help her, finding John in the crawl space under the building. This was the guy at the beginning whose wife was taken out the window, the guy who had the dogs.
Yeah.
And the girl that was killed was one of Jake's, Eben's brother, one of his friends from school. I believe that's what he said. As the girl, having been unsuccessful in luring any survivors to her, is attacked and killed by the vampires. Eben attempts to help John. However, he discovers that John had become a vampire and ends up killing him. It is because of this that he learns that beheading the vampires will kill them. Shortly after, Wilson and his senile father, Isaac, are lost when they leave the house in which they had been hiding. This old nitwit.
No, you don't talk about Isaac like that. Okay? You don't talk about Isaac like that.
How did I know Anna was going to defend Isaac?
The man has dementia, okay?
He has been a problem since the get-go.
Look, we all knew he was going to die because he had to die because he has dementia. The dementia guy's not going to live through this. When you have to be quiet and still and pay attention, dementia guy's not going to live. We know this.
I totally saw you running out after him.
Sad.
Like the pilot.
I'm not even gonna lie. I probably wouldn't.
Yeah. Me, on the other hand.
Like, don't get me wrong. When I saw Wilson running out, I was like, dude, I get it. But I was like, because I know how hard it is to wrangle someone with dementia. How you gonna do that in an attic for an extended period of time? It's almost impossible. So I was like, no, Isaac, don't go. And then I was like, oh, right, he runs out the window. I was like, no, he dead.
Yeah. See, I would have been using it as bait even before I realized they were vampires.
Yeah, because
send them out, walk in the middle of the street, see what happens. Is it zombies? Is it a virus? Looters? Vampires?
You're a dick. You're a dick.
I would have at least
tried to keep him alive for a little bit, but I mean, if he was running out, I'd be like, sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be going looking for him. No, let him go. There's no stopping him. Yeah, if it was my dad, no. Well, actually, my real dad left when I was 2, so I wouldn't have a dad in this movie or any movie for that matter. So,
see, I would have a dad, and thankfully, my dad doesn't have dementia, so he'd live.
Yeah,
because he's totally comfortable sitting down and keeping quiet.
Yeah, just give him some crosswords.
Oh, 100%.
When a blizzard hits, Eben and the others use the whiteout conditions to make it to the general store. There, a young girl vampire named Macy attacks and wounds one of them. She is then grabbed and screams in horror until she is decapitated by Jake with an axe, causing her severed head to fall off and her headless body to fall away. Again, great scene.
Mhm.
The little girl eating the mother or whoever.
No, just the random woman, because
Yeah.
they realize in that scene, they're like, "Does anybody recognize her?"
Yeah.
"No, she's not from here." And then they realize they're like, they brought her.
Yeah.
They
I'm
turned
done
a little
playing with
girl.
this one.
Right?
Creepy,
That was
creepy
fucking
little
creepy as
bastards.
shit. And then she was like a strong little thing, so
Yeah, well, she's a
tossing them
vampire.
around. I
Now,
know.
see, this is where I am useful in a horror situation like this because I would not have a problem chopping the kid's head off like this.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. You would not pause, you would not hesitate.
No.
You'd just start swinging.
Yeah. 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 Just say it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Why am I chopping this kid's head after the kid's head's rolling off? Didn't even know it was a vampire. Yeah. The whiteout conditions. Oh, and it's Carter that got
Yes.
got bit. Yeah. The whiteout conditions end, preventing them from making it back to the abandoned house under cover. Eben decides everyone should go to the police station. He provides a diversion by running to his grandmother's house to retrieve an ultraviolet lighting system. He didn't think it was going to work, but because Stella did, that's why he decided to do it.
Because they're grow lights.
Yeah,
Granny
growing
was growing
marijuana
some weed.
for her glaucoma. Was it
No,
glaucoma
cancer.
or cancer? For cancer.
It helps her with her cancer. I mean, it helps her feel better.
Yeah.
So I think it was Jake was like, "Yeah, she's got the grow lights." And it was like UV. And it was like, "Ooh, okay." And then as soon as he figures out it works, they figure out how to cut the power again.
Yes.
And I'm like, dude, don't you have car batteries?
yeah.
You can hook it up to a car bat and just walk around burning these motherfuckers, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, because this is the only time, like, okay, so Eben makes it to the house, jumpstarts the generator, and turns the light on the vampires who have followed him. Actually, it was just one. He hideously burns a female vampire
Mhm.
named Iris, forcing Marlowe to kill her. Were there mistakes in this movie plot hole? There were a few, but so minor. This one was blatant and stupid. Like, Eben knew they were going to shut off the generator, and
Yeah.
apparently it took all 20 vampires to go do it.
Apparently.
Not one could wait at the door ready to bolt it and kill him. That was the only time where I'm like, really?
He's like,
Uh,
they're about to cut off the power. And then
Yeah.
I was like, if you know this, why are you just sitting there?
Yeah, put it up against a chair and run away. Yeah. All right. Eben escapes the house, followed by the vampires. Bo comes to the rescue, killing many of the vampires with his backhoe. I don't know if this was stupid or if some people were like, this doesn't make sense. I didn't care. It was an awesome scene of the vampires trying to get Bo riding this fucking backhoe.
Yes, but at the same time, I think Bo was just kind of like,
Because he
at
wanted to
this
leave a
point-
bunch of times.
yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah. He
fight.
just wanted to get the fuck out. He was
Yeah.
like, I'm done now. Like, I don't want to do this. But I think at this point, they've been hidden for like 17 or 18 days.
Yes, it was quite a while.
Yeah, it was a while.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're
Cold,
with the same
hungry.
people, cold, hungry, unbathed,
Yeah.
pooping in a corner because you
Yeah.
can't
Where are they?
budge.
Yeah. Where are they? Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're not, although I will say this, Stella's hair throughout this entire thing looks exceptionally clean.
Yeah, actually, Stella looked great.
She looked amazing through this entire thing. A couple people, not so much.
Yeah.
Stella, fresh.
Yeah.
So fresh. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, no, I can understand Bo is just like, you know what? Eben keeps running out there and doing this shit. And you could see he's kind of like, it's my turn now. And he was just kind of resigned.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I get it. So he just takes his little machinery out there and has a good time with his shotgun.
Oh, it's cutting them in half.
Oh,
and heads
yeah,
are being blown
like
off.
rolling over them, like breaking their bones. I'm like, yes.
And I really like Mike Boone Jr., the guy from Sons of Anarchy that played
Mhm.
Bo. Yeah, no. And then he crashes into a hotel and then ignites a box of dynamite using road flares, trying to kill himself. His ploy is unsuccessful, though, as Bo lives through the blast and Marlowe crushes his skull. But it gives Eben the time to make it to the police station. I was hoping that he would have made a good one-liner here.
Yeah.
Yeah. because he did. Well, he did say just before he blew himself out, like, "You're not eating me," and then he blew
Yeah.
him. But
And then you
not
see
to
he's still
die.
alive and you're like, "Oh,
Oh, that
buddy."
sucks.
But then I have a moment of, but he still got his wish because they just crushed his skull
Yeah, they didn't.
and
I
left him.
thought
They didn't eat him. So I
I
was like,
didn't
"Oh."
remember, so I'm like, "Oh, do they?" I can't remember if they
No.
tortured him a bit. No, it was pretty quick.
No, it was literally like the guy just said a few words to him, Marlowe, like stood on his neck, cracked his like just kind of crushed his head or his neck, and that was it.
Yeah, they should have
And I
had
was
him
like,
dragged off and then saying something like it's gonna be slow and
yeah, I
to
know.
really bring that dread thing. But yeah, he didn't
But
have to suffer long.
it was like a moment because
Yeah.
you have this hope while he's taking out all the vampires.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have
You
this
know he's
hope,
not gonna, but you have the hope.
but then you see him driving into the hotel and you're like, "Oh no, I don't think he's gonna make it out of this." But you're still kind of hopeful. But then he gets out the box of dynamite and you're like, "Oh, we're done now."
Yeah.
But he only waits until like a couple vampires got in there and then he lights it up. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna wait for more vampires." Oh, okay. And then you're
I
like,
don't think any of
"Oh,
them died. I think just a couple caught on fire.
no, they caught on fire." There were
Yeah.
like 3 that were on fire. But when it goes up, you're like, "Goodbye, Bo. You did well." And then he crawls out of it. And I was like, "Oh no, Bo." It was an emotional roller coaster. This entire like Bo scene was just it was a lot.
Um There, okay, so at the police station, the wounded member Carter Davies turns into a vampire. He tells the group of the death of his wife and children. He longs to be with them and is horrified at the prospect of living forever, never to see them in the afterlife. Did you notice Eben referred to Carter as it? Like it told us what it wanted?
Yeah.
Yeah, so once he was a vampire, he wasn't human. And
Mhm.
I this was kind of a sad part, even for me. I did like this character and that whole story about the and not wanting to live forever. I'm like, oh, poor Carter.
Did you hear in the beginning of the movie, they
They
asked
were
him
asking about his
when
wife
his
and kids
family,
coming,
when are
and
they
he's like,
coming?
"Ah, when they're ready, they'll come."
Yeah. And then you get to this scene and you're just like,
Yeah,
"Oh, he didn't even want to admit that they were dead."
yeah,
But now that he's a vampire, he's all like, "I don't want to spend eternity without them.
yeah,
Take me out, because at least I could pretend that she was just at her sister's." And I was like, "That's a lot for that's a lot for a horror movie, guys." I was like, "That's fucking beautiful, but also heartbreaking.
With
Thanks."
with some shred of humanity left, he asks Eben to end it. Eben complies and beheads him. Um, yeah,
Also, can we talk about how we don't see his death?
yeah, yeah, and yeah.
Like, it
I
was
think that's
so
to distinguish
yeah.
the humanity part of it. Yeah,
Also, because he
which
asked for it.
yeah, um, yeah, because again, better man than me because you wouldn't have found out I was a vampire until I was eating you. Oh shit, Jimmy's a vampire as I'm gnawing on your fucking
So what
leg.
you're saying is if the apocalypse ever comes, if I see you
Yeah,
anywhere, I'm
don't
just taking
wave.
off. I'm gonna be like,
Don't
"Nope."
no.
Then part of my group's gonna be like, "But that group has" "Nope, you don't wanna go there.
He has guns and all. No, we don't want
Nope,
any part of that guy.
nope, don't do it. You go die."
Yeah. I'll even give you one of those look like I know. I get
Yeah.
it. I
We're
get it.
gonna we're gonna make eye contact, and I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Nope," and turn
I
around.
get it.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so 2 more weeks pass. What are they eating? And that's I made a note.
Canned food.
Where are they doing number 1 and where are they doing number 2?
Well, it's funny because when day 18 pops up, I'm like, "Hold up a second. They've been going for 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
They don't look that dirty. Their
Mm-mm.
hair is not that stringy, some of them. Some of them are looking a little rough, some of them are not." And I'm like,
No.
"I don't like the inconsistency." But I'm also like, because when Wilson's dad, Isaac, goes to the bathroom, they're like, "Okay, but remember, you can't flush." And I'm like, "Is
No.
everybody just randomly pooping in toilets and then not flushing?" Because I don't know if I can handle that. Or because you can't go outside and dig a hole.
Yeah, by day 2, it'd be like, "Oh, this bathroom's gross."
I'm like, "God bless." That's also why I didn't blame Bo for being like, "I'm just gonna drive into this hotel and light myself on fire." Because I was like, "Dude, I probably would too after 18 days of smelling other people's poop."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, none of that, my friends, none of that. But yeah, 18, and then they go even further, and you're just like, I think they were just going from kind of place to place, grabbing supplies as they could, and they've been eating just canned food,
Yeah.
sitting around smelling each other's BO.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every house would probably have some deodorant sticks. I mean, you
There's
could.
not enough deodorant in the world to cover
No,
up 4 weeks of
no.
being unwashed.
Yeah, it'd be gross.
So gross.
Stella and Evan find his deputy Billy signaling them with a flashlight from across the street. Evan and Stella make it to Billy's house. When the vampires had attacked, Billy killed his wife and daughters, but his gun jammed when he tried to commit suicide. Stella and Evan take him back to the station house. Evan was mad at him actually for killing his wife and kids.
Mhm.
I'm assuming he and his wife talked about it. I hope. Let's hope it wasn't just his random decision while they were sleeping.
No, I feel like it was.
Oh yeah, it might have been. And you kind of get it that you don't want your kid, like after seeing that Main Street massacre.
No, like, I understand,
Yeah.
but still.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah, yeah. It was a heavy moment in
Yeah,
the movie.
and Eben did not take it well,
Yeah.
which I think may have been, I was like, "You have trauma about, like, families and being hurt by a family member, because obviously he doesn't have parents.
No.
He's kind of raising his
His
grandmother probably raised him, and
Yeah,
then
and he's
he's raising
turned
his
into
little
his brother.
brother." So I'm like, I think there's something deeper there, and it also explains why he doesn't wanna have kids
Yeah.
with his wife, because that was their whole reason for not staying together. She left
Yeah.
because of that, so I was like, I feel like if this movie wasn't so long already, I'm like, "Can we find out what happened there?"
A little backstory.
I'm a little curious now, but I'm also just nosy, and I wanna know everything, so, I mean, I'm like, "Hmm."
Because I kind of get why Evan was upset at him, but I did understand why Billy sorry, why Billy wanted to not have it to risk that horror
Yeah.
of his, yeah. And so he shot them. I wanted to do that to a couple of my kids the other day, and they weren't even vampires. They were just pissing me off.
Jesus. You're not allowed to say that.
Say what exactly? I didn't really say anything.
All of a sudden, someone's gonna come knocking on your door and be like, "Sir, we'd like to speak to your children. Are they still alive?"
I think so.
Let's go check the woods.
Yeah. We'll have
You
to-
walk ahead of me. Just gotta get something out of the safe. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they're down here in the basement. Come on, I'll show you. There they learn that the others have made it to the Utilidor. There we go.
Yes.
That's what it is, Utilidor. That's what it was called. A power station that controls the oil pipeline, which is the only structure that still has power. Evan, Stella, and Billy begin to sneak towards the Utilidor. Soon the members spot a figure moving towards them. They soon realize it's a young girl. Stella stops to rescue the young girl, Gail, who is being stalked by the vampire Zuriel. Okay, for those that are listening and never seen this movie or don't remember, none of these names are used in the movie.
Yeah.
These are the names from the comic book characters, and they were in the script. So Evan and Billy try to distract him while Stella gets the girl to safety. Instead, Billy and Evan are separated. They both eventually make it to the Utilidor, but another vampire follows Billy inside. Evan is happy to see the rest of the survivors have made it alive, which by now is the diner woman, Jake,
Mhm.
the very smart, and my spiritual animal, Denise. That's it, right? It's only the three of them. And then
I think so,
Evan
yeah.
and Billy are there.
Yeah.
Okay. The vampire attacks Billy, ripping into his neck and dazing him. When the vampire turns to attack Evan, Billy gets up and knocks it into the gears of the Utilidor's pump, shredding the creature. Billy's arm gets caught in the gears as well, and his entire forearm is completely gone. I won't lie, that looked like it hurt.
Yes.
Like that looked fucking painful and gory.
It looked incredibly painful, although I gotta say, that FX,
Oh, it was
like,
great.
it was so good. It
Yeah,
was you see the bone poking out, and then the blood squirting, and it was like, "That's good."
Yeah,
like
for those
that.
listening, if you haven't seen it or if you don't remember, yeah, they don't hide anything. There's
Yeah,
no
no.
very rarely do they cut away from Like, yeah, you saw the blood coming out, you saw the bone, you saw muscle. Yeah, it was like, and
They
it
went
looked,
for it.
ooh. Billy screams in pain as Eben tries to calm him down. Eben then realizes that Billy's screams become vampiric shrieks. Eben is forced then to kill Billy with an axe, beheading him. Yeah, this is a really gory movie because again, they showed when he chopped his head, he didn't get it in one swing, and they show
No.
it. It took a couple swings.
Actually, I don't think any of the beheadings were one swing.
No, not even the little girl.
No,
It's
it
like,
was
come
all
on,
multiple
Jake.
chops.
Put your
But
back
that's
into it.
realistic. Unless you're
Yes.
working with a machete,
Yeah,
with an axe, you're never going to get a one swing chop, like clean
unless
decapitation.
you're a man's man like me. One swing. I'm on swing 6.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, I'm
The,
pretty
the little
sure
kids, the little
between
girls
the
yelling
two
at
of
me.
us, I'd probably get that head off first. I just heard that. Anyways.
Yes, you are correct. Between the two of us, you would be. Well, it depends.
Yeah.
The vampire attacks. No, where am I? Billy screams in pains and beheading. Yes, yeah, they show everything.
Also, his beheading, can we point out that he wasn't fully like it was hanging off by the skin and like a little bit of muscle, his head?
Yeah, it took a
it
couple
didn't fully
swings.
come off and roll. No,
No.
it was just
Lopsided.
hanging there.
Yeah, and it looked gross,
It was
but
so
it looked
gross.
very cool.
Yes.
The sun is due to rise in a few hours. The vampires decide to burn down the town to cover their tracks, to preserve the thought that they don't exist. Stella radios Eben that she and the young girl are hiding under an abandoned truck across the street from the Utilidor. The flames rapidly approaching them, realizing he cannot beat the vampires as a human. Eben injects himself with Billy's infected blood so he can fight them as a vampire. I totally forgot about this part.
I knew he became a vampire. I just didn't remember how.
See, I totally forgot it. For some reason, I thought Eben survived. I was a little pissed because once he did that, I'm like, he's not making it, is he?
It's funny though, because of this entire movie, one of the scenes that I remember the best is him and Stella at the end. Excuse me.
Yes, and see,
the scene that I remember
that.
the scene that I remembered steadily through the years was him and Stella at the end.
Yeah.
So I knew he survived
to the
there.
End. Yeah.
And I knew he had become a vampire. Like I remembered that, but I didn't remember how. I thought it happened during a fight and it was like an accidental bite or whatever. And then when I saw this scene, I was like, oh, yeah, that feels very Ebony.
Yeah. He and Marlowe fight a vicious battle. As the battle comes to a close, Marlowe charges Eben as Eben throws a punch. The punch, empowered by Eben's vampiric super strength, runs through Marlowe's mouth and out the back of his head, killing him. Leaderless, with the sun about to rise, the other vampires disappear. Great final battle. Wasn't overly spectacular. Very centralized, but it was good.
It was a good fight, and it was an honest fight. Like they both got licks in, and they both, did the fight. I'm going to point out though, Stella pissed me off at this thing because she's stuck under the thing with this girl Gail.
Yeah, she's supposed to run.
She's supposed to run. Jake says, "Run now," and then you look up, and she's still there. I was like, girl, you were told to run.
Yeah, you're told to
run.
run.
You have a child with you. Get to safety. But no, but that's fine.
Eben and Stella watch the sunrise together, with Stella rests on Eben's shoulder. They share one last kiss. Stella holds Eben tightly in her arms as the light of sun brightens. His body begins to burn, and he lets out a blood-curdling scream. Seconds later, he dies. Actually, it's more than a couple seconds. His body turned to ash. The end of the film is marked as Stella closes her eyes, cradling Eben's ashen corpse. It's not a happy ending. The vampires, most of them got away. Horrible fucking ending. I mean, it was a great ending but Eben and Billy talk about bringing their wives to that spot on their first dates, and they end up back there.
Yeah.
I just wanted Josh Hartnett not to die.
It was not a happy ending.
No,
but
not
it was
at all.
But
it was a good ending. Very good ending.
Yeah.
And that is our movie. Okay, so a little different. The anticipation, pre-watch, post-watch. No, post would be after.
Correct.
I was waiting when I met you at film school. I wanted to be a director. Oh fuck, I'd still be on Grizzly 7 by now. All getting substantially worse. It wasn't long after doing film school that I did not want to become a director.
Understandable.
Yeah. But yeah, so post watch, my anticipation was pretty high. Like I was thinking about watching it the next day.
Mm.
How about your anticipation for it?
Pre-watch or post-watch?
No, like after the Wednesday before we watched it.
Oh, before we
Pre-watch.
watched
I'm
it?
sorry, pre-watch.
Yeah,
Jesus
because you said
Christ.
post-watch, and I was like, no, I get it. Because even post-watch, I still want to watch it.
Yeah,
But
pre-watch.
pre-watch,
Yes, your
I was like,
anticipation.
I had a little bit of a reservation because I do really remember loving this movie, and I do feel like I would still love it, but I was like, I don't want to ruin it. So that was, but I was excited to watch it because I was like, it had been a while,
Yeah.
and because it's not exactly, unless you want to rent or buy, it's not streaming anywhere for free. So I was like,
No.
you
But
really
yeah.
have to jump in. But I was like, I was excited to watch it. I was
Yes,
just
I was.
nervous.
See, I was almost willing to bet money after we went all through the stuff and watched the trailer. So I was pre-watch. I was very excited. I wanted to watch it like the next day. Okay, so the movie, the acting.
The acting was really good.
Phenomenal for a horror movie.
For a horror movie,
Yeah.
incredible.
Yes.
Like if that's, but in general for
in
movies,
general,
like even the
it was
vampires,
really good.
like you felt what these people felt.
Yeah.
You were sad when they were sad. You were angry when they were angry. You were grossed out when they were grossed out. Like it was, you felt it. And I was like, good job.
Yeah.
You guys did amazing.
The movie's directing. Because during the setup, I read a lot of people, they shit on the directing. Like people liked Hard Candy. That was his movie before he did this.
Yeah.
And they did not like, not everybody. The people that didn't like this blamed the director. I thought
the directing was great.
Yeah. Vision wise, very well thought out, planned, and executed. He had a clear look that he wanted to emulate from the comics. I think it was very successful.
It was a very stylized movie.
Yeah.
And it didn't necessarily follow some horror movie conventions. Like it kind of went outside of that, which I get because it is based on a comic. So if you're going for more of a comic vibe, it's definitely kind of leaning more towards that, because some of the action you can even take almost like stills of it and put them like through together.
Yeah.
And it feels like a moving picture. So I was like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. But I loved the directing and the cinematography. And I was like, there are some beautiful shots, great framing. The lighting was very intentional in this movie.
Okay,
and
then we're okay.
Am I jumping ahead?
The movies look cinematography.
Yeah, no,
no, you're right. Keep going because that was next.
But yeah, like the lighting was very intentional. The framing of the scenes, the even the camera movements.
Yeah.
Because when they were killing the dogs, it was a very different vibe from when they were killing the guy who works at the Utilidor. Yeah. Like there were very specific like vibes to the shots, and they literally took what was happening in the scene and tried to communicate that through all the mediums that they had at their disposal. So I was like, it was a well-directed, well-shot movie, well-lit.
Yeah, because the atmosphere and tone of this movie, just the look of it was amazing. Like if you took this movie and did it by the book, like a director that would have taken it just by the book with normal this movie would not have worked. Would it not have been anywhere. It wouldn't be remembered.
No. No. It would have literally been cataloged as just another shitty horror movie.
Yeah. And so we move on to the story. For me, I put simplistic. You couldn't get more simplistic. The title almost says it all. It can be summed up in like one or two lines, like vampires arrive in Burrow, trap the population to feed upon them. The town is stuck for 30 days and nights, and that's the whole movie. But saying that, because you couldn't do that for Donnie Darko or Shutter or a Christopher Nolan movie. You'd need a couple pages. But that was one of the strengths.
Yeah.
There was no backstories. There was no motive other than to feed. There was nothing there, and I think it worked for the movie, the
See,
story.
for me, it feels a lot because I used to have this argument with my sister about The Walking Dead, where she would say, you know what, last night was boring. Like last night's episode was boring, nothing
Oh, too
happened.
much story.
And I was like, no, it told a story. It's
Yeah.
character development. It's the information you need for when shit hits the fan. And she looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, no, no, no. Like, this is like not every week is a zombie battle.
Yeah.
And that's what this feels like. Like, this movie had so much character development in it.
Yeah.
Like, even in the quiet moments, even in the
In
like
the
crazy
actions of the
yeah,
movie, yes.
there was a lot of character development and there was a lot of
They were able to, like, do that through the actions of the
yeah,
movie. Yeah.
through the action scenes, through the quiet scenes, during the tense scenes,
Yeah.
you saw who every character was. And I was just like, "You guys really
And I
did
don't know
that?"
who to I don't know who to compliment more, the director, the writers. They
Yeah,
were, rather than do a whole bunch of half-hour backstory, they were able to do it as the movie, and the movie went at a
yeah,
pretty quick pace.
a very quick pace. It did not feel
No.
long at all.
No. And a lot of people did complain about the length. The movie's fun factor.
Ah,
No, I don't mean
that's a weird I enjoyed it.
enjoyment factor.
Yeah, enjoyment fact I enjoyed this movie. Is it
Yeah.
fun? If you really like seeing gore, it's a hoot.
Yeah.
If you like seeing people being mangled up while they're being decapitated, it's a party.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
It's
But
cotton candy.
no, it's a fun movie for me,
Yeah.
but it's also one of those movies, like, if you really enjoy either horror movies or thrillers that kind of make you feel really anxious and, like, sitting on the edge of your seat, this is a great movie for that.
Right.
It gives you that, like, nervous energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Because for people who love gore and violence and their horror, this is great.
Mhm.
I thought there was an abundance without falling into like the exploitation territory, like
Yeah,
Hostel and Saw,
yeah.
which because they almost, what's that category? Torture porn.
Yes.
It's a horrible
I
genre title.
also, it's a horrible genre.
Makes it, and yeah. See, I like the Saw movies, but I don't like
Mhm.
the torture porn name that it gets. It sounds like I shouldn't
I
like it.
watched the first Saw movie and I was like, "I nope, I'm done now.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
never
not for
watching this
everybody.
again." Yeah, it's not for me. It's not for me.
All right. So I don't know if we should have done this after score. I don't know. It's trying something new. But what's your score? Buy it, rent it, stream it, skip it. And if you can add like a full price sale on
Okay,
beside it.
because this one if you like gore and you can really handle gore and a horror movie, buy it. If you're not sure if you can handle the gore, but you like horror, rent it. So basically pay for this movie because it's worth it.
Right. Okay. My score. I love 30 Days a Night. It was well acted. It was well shot. It was very atmospheric. The tone and look was amazing. It was very gory, which I loved. There was nothing I hated. A couple of eye rolls, but like the one for sure that I said, and if there was other ones, I've already forgotten them.
Mhm.
30 Days of Night has a simple story, and that is one of its many strengths. Sun goes down for 30 days, vampires come, humans need to survive. That's it. The vampires are cruel, savage. The humans react like humans would. There are no real heroes. I mean, Josh Hartnett is the hero, and at the end, he does something heroic, but basically, through the whole movie, it's just people trying to survive.
Mhm.
There are gory kills, some jump scares, a couple of humorous spots, although this movie is not that type of horror. It's not a comedy.
Mm-mm.
Some complained it was long. I did not feel that at all. I was enjoying it way too much.
It did not
Um,
feel an hour and 53 minutes. Not at
no,
all.
in fact, this could have been a 10-episode TV series with
Oh,
this director and crew and cast.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Uh, I don't know if this is my favorite vampire movie, but it did make me wonder why I have not seen it in so long. I rented this movie and am now kicking myself for not buying it. Buy it. It's worth buying at regular price. While I would buy the digital, I actually might get the Blu-ray or 4K just for the extras. And like in that trivia, that day-night filming, the salt being used as snow. Yeah, this is worth buying. I will watch this again and again and a few more times after that. I thought it was awesome.
I debated actually buying or renting it for this.
Yeah,
and then I was like, you know what? I remember loving it so much. Worst comes to worse, it sits in my Apple TV thing next to Weekend at Bernie's. It's fine. So I paid the $14.99 and I bought it. And I'm
did you buy this one?
I bought it, yeah.
You bought it? Yeah.
Because I was like, do I buy it or do I rent it? And I was like, you know what? Let me buy it. Because I have a feeling. I think I'm going to want to watch it again. And literally when I finished watching it, I was like, I think I want to watch it again tomorrow.
Yeah, it was
Like
good.
it was, yeah, I forgot how good it was. Like I remember loving it, but I was like, because I noticed halfway through the movie, it was about halfway through, I was like, I feel like I'm going to throw up. And not from the gore, but like I'm nervous for these people. I want them to live, damn it.
Yeah, see, I rented. I only paid like $3 or $4 for it, but
yeah.
I should have bought it. And I think it's Anaconda's fault because I bought Anaconda, which I would have been kind of okay with if it came with extras, but it didn't. And I think that's kind of shied me away from buying.
Totally understandable.
Could it be rebooted today? I don't know if you could do a better job.
I don't think you need to reboot it.
No.
It still totally works because
if someone said we're going to do a TV series based on the comics.
Yeah.
R-rated and that would be cool. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I don't
you know what? If Stars wants to take this and be like, let's do this for sure. Let's go. You can make a like limited series for it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But I don't think you need to remake the movie because also it's not like there's anything like there are a lot of remote northern communities that can be cut off that don't have sunlight for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
So the story is still super relevant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like you don't need to adjust anything.
No. Now the sequel is based on Stella, Melissa George, tracking the vampires to LA and going after them for killing Eben. I don't think I've seen it.
I have.
Oh, what I saw when I was researching, doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it was well received.
No, it's a pretty shitty movie.
Oh, okay.
It's a pretty shitty movie. It can be fun to watch, but it's definitely not one you pay for.
Right.
This, I encourage people to pay money for it because I don't think you'll regret it. Unless you have an aversion to gore.
Mm-hmm.
If, you know what, decapitation or amputation or, people literally getting chewed is not your jam, this is not the movie for you. However, if you are a horror fan and you're totally comfortable with all of that, this is a great, great like horror thriller for you.
Yep. All right. So for this podcast, we hope you enjoyed our review of 30 Days of Night. Please check us out on Facebook or Twitter or TikTok or Instagram. And if you like to watch our live recordings, we are live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook or Twitter. Or you can watch the podcast in full on YouTube every Sundays or listen to a new episode every Sunday, wherever you got this episode. Thank you for listening to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Until the next movie we remember liking. And for those who watch this live or later, which is the case, after we're done, it gets a lot more views. We are going on intermission, but when we come back, it is Child's Play 1988 versus 2019. Again, excited.
I can't wait.
Yeah, we're going to hang out with our old friend Chucky.
Yeah, we are.
All right, so we will be back.
Time, folks. So hurry, hurry, hurry. Step right over to our refreshment center for the most extravagant array of refreshment goodies ever assembled under one roof. Enjoy breathtaking, mouth-watering goodies. Everything from a snack to a delicious full meal. At our refreshment center, you'll find a large variety of goodies to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, or your sweet tooth. So hurry, hurry, hurry. Visit our refreshment center now. The show starts in 3 minutes. The show starts in 2 minutes. The show starts in 1 minute. And now, on with the show.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. Okay. Give me 1 second. Oh my God, what did I do? It's not where I want to be. It's not where I want to be. There we go. That's better. I would love to make money at this, and I think a studio should be an old blockbuster filled with movies. That would be awesome.
It would be. It really, really would be.
Like a full done up. Remember, we talked about this. People are actually now doing their basements, like their entertainment man caves or whatever you want to call them, and they're making full out movie video stores. It's awesome.
I've seen that.
All right. Welcome back to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. If you are joining us, we are about to preview Child's Play 1988 and 2019. I'm looking forward to both of these movies.
Me too.
Because we've already done 2 Child's Play movies.
We have.
And we've done like no Nightmare on Elm Streets, no Texas Chainsaws, no Hellraisers. This is an excuse to watch Child's Play 2019. I do remember Child's Play 1988 fairly well, even though it's been a while. And I have seen enough to remember. Not everything. I know it isn't as chuckified as the other movies. Like it's a slower burn and slower reveal. Or it does take a long time to get in Chofucky full Chucky mode.
Chofucky, you say?
Chofucky.
I remember for some reason the 1988 Child's Play freaked me the fuck out.
Well, yeah. When did you watch it? Probably late 80s, early 90s.
It was probably early to mid 90s, and it freaked me the fuck out. And I was like, nope, no, thank you. And so I think I've maybe watched it once since then, probably in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I haven't watched it since. Because I'm like, Chucky, nope. Nope.
I do like Chucky. He's pretty awesome. So we're going to so like I said, it's an excuse to watch him, and we're going to preview them now, and then when we'll go watch them, and we will review them as singles, but then compare them together and declare a winner. It's not a slam dunk like the original doesn't prevail automatically. I mean, it might.
We'll see what they did with the 2019 one.
Yeah, and we did a versus with Friday 13th reboot and the original, and we both preferred the reboot or the remake over the original. Yeah. I know the purists are gonna be like, oh, what the fuck, but
it's a totally different movie. Me. Suck it.
Yeah.
The remake was better. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was. It was easier to watch. It was better paced, better kills. But we did actually. I think we didn't score it that badly. The original.
No, it was a decent
by
movie.
itself. It was a decent. Yeah, we both gave it fairly good. But compared, there wasn't. So who knows?
I mean, it could be the same thing here, or we could be like, "Yo, the OG holds up better than the new one, and that's the one you want to watch if you want to get this story."
Yeah, and when I say purist, because a lot of reviews spoke of purists not liking this one. Holy shit, when I got to IMDb. Wow.
Are they angry?
Fucking wow. The hatred from these people. Oh my God. So first, let's go over some box office. There we go. So we're going to go to 1988, November 9th, when Child's Play was released. It opened in 3,000, just over. That's wrong. It did not open in 3,000. I apologize. It opened in like 1,400 theaters.
Okay.
And it opened in third place. Oh, I got this wrong. It opened in first. No, the numbers are right. The budget was $9 million.
Okay.
It did open at $6 million, just over $6.5 million. Domestic 33, and international 10. So it made $44 million back in '88.
That is a tidy profit.
Yeah, and so it would have been. I don't know when it was released to like Blockbuster and all those. It would have made a lot more money. So this was. The sequel, I did read the sequel got greenlit pretty quickly. And number 2 and 3 were shot almost back to back.
Yeah.
Okay, now we fast forward to 2019. Okay, yeah, so the first one was 1377. The new Child's Play opened up in 3,007 theaters. It only had a budget of $1 million more at $10 million.
Oh, really?
It did not open in first place. It opened in third place. It opened the same day that Toy Story 4 opened.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't think Toy Story 4 was made in 1988.
No, and it came, and the second place that weekend was the live action adaptation of Aladdin with Will Smith. So Child's Play did not fare as well. But it did open with 6.5 million, but it's domestic only 29 million and international just over 15 million. Surprisingly, 44,900,000, 44 million and 100, and it made the same amount.
Almost the exact same amount, yeah.
And 30 years later. So
but they only increased the budget by $1 million, which is actually pretty impressive.
Not bad. So I'm guessing it made a profit.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. Because I don't think they did like crazy promotion for this one either. So I think they didn't spend that much money of the budget on that. So
yeah,
I think they made a tiny little profit. Yeah.
Yeah, probably not as much as they were hoping. And now we're only going to do trivia for Child's Play 1 because we don't know if we like Child's Play 2019.
No.
So
we're gonna wait.
You can start.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Okay. Hold on.
What?
Let me first. Remove. I have a surprise.
You have a surprise?
I do. Let's watch this before we get to trivia. This is part of the trivia.
Okay.
All right.
My buddy, wherever I go, he goes. My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy and me. Kid sister, kid sister, kid sister, kid sister. Wherever I go, you're gonna go. Kid sister, kid sister, kid sister, kid sister, kid sister and me.
My Buddy and Kid Sister. Each sold separately from Play School.
So
Those
I'll
are
do the
some fucking
first.
creepy kids, creepy toys, creepy.
I'll do the first trivia because that commercial is from 1985, the My Buddy toy line. The My Buddy doll line was a toy brand made by Hasbro in 1985 with the intention of making a doll to appeal to young boys and teach them about caring for their friends. This idea was both innovative and controversial for its time, as toy dolls were traditionally associated with younger girls. Unfortunately, the My Buddy doll line has never ever recovered from the first Child's Play movie.
Gee,
It
I wonder why.
tanked the sales. Mancini and they based Chucky doll on a lot of dolls, but the My Buddy was heavily look at it.
Yeah, overalls, striped shirt, shitty haircut. Yeah,
So My Buddy doll tanked after Child's Play came out.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, you could do the next one.
Thanks. Chucky's full name, Charles Lee Ray, is derived from the names of notorious serial killers, or the names of notorious killers Charles Manson, Lee Harvey Oswald, assassin of John F. Kennedy, and James Earl Ray, assassin of Martin Luther King.
I did not know
Dr.
that.
Martin Luther King.
Dr. Martin Luther King. Despite their long-running collaborative effort to bring Chucky to life, voice actor Brad Dourif and special effects wizard Kevin Yeager never met in person until they were both guests at a horror convention in May 2018.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Side note, Kevin Yeager and Catherine Hicks, the star, the mom in Child's Play, met on this, obviously, on the set and married a year later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She also played the mom on Seventh Heaven, which is also very, very disturbing if you ever want to be disturbed.
Just the dad. Just a touchy dad.
Oh, yeah. That entire show was a hot mess. But anyways, originally, the studio billed Chris Sarandon as the top star over Catherine Hicks, but Sarandon requested that Hicks be top billed since he felt she carried the picture. Now, the question is, did Sarandon insist that Hicks get paid more than him?
No.
I doubt that.
No. But gave her top billing. I thought that was cool.
It's nice. Now pay her for top billing. I want that. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to find out if that happens.
I know Chris Sarandon was pretty big in the 80s.
Mhm. He was.
So, yeah, but I don't think
I highly doubt he did because
No.
there was a general attitude of, yeah, but your name comes before mine. You should be thankful.
Yeah.
I'm making twice as much as you, but you should be grateful that they put your name first. Fuckers.
Let's just go to the tail of the tape. Okay, so 1988 Child's Play, 1988 horror, rated R, and comes in an hour and 27 minutes. Directed by Tom Holland, who also did Fright Night with Sarandon, Fatal Beauty with Sam Neill, mustache guy.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that Sam?
Sam
Elliott?
Sam Elliott. I'm sorry, Sam Elliott and Whoopi Goldberg. He also did Stephen King's Thinner, Stephen King's Langoliers. Catherine Hicks plays Karen, the mom. Chris Sarandon, Detective Mike Norris, and Brad Dourif, of course, as Charles Lee Ray and the voice of Chucky. Taglines: no one believes the truth or lives to tell it.
Not bad.
Yeah, it was okay. He wants you for a new best friend.
No.
When people have nightmares, they dream of Freddy. When Freddy has nightmares, he dreams of Chucky.
That's too wordy and not even true.
And I remember this one from the 80s, and it kind of soured me back then. Or maybe it wasn't the 80s. Maybe I don't know if I watched it in 88, but yeah. You'll wish it was only make-believe.
See?
That's a good one.
That's a good tagline.
Andy Barclay has a new playmate who is in no mood to play.
No, that's shitty.
This doll is killer.
I mean, not bad, but kind of cliche.
Chucky is one mean SOB.
That's not a tagline.
No. Something's moved in with the Barclay family, and so has terror.
No. They get good inspiration needs to be reworked.
Chucky did it. That was for the VHS release poster for video stores.
I mean, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. I like that one.
Yeah.
And what's that one? You Wish It Was Only Make Believe.
Yes.
Yeah, the other one's not so good. All right, the synopsis for Child's Play. Gunned down by Detective Mike Norris, Chris Sarandon. I didn't remember that. Dying murderer Charles Lee Ray Braddorf uses black magic to put his soul inside a doll named Chucky, which Karen Barclay, Catherine Hicks, then buys for her young son, Andy, Alex Vincent. When Chucky kills Andy's babysitter, the boy realizes the doll is alive and tries to warn people, but he's institutionalized. Now, Karen must convince the detective of the murderous doll's intentions before Andy becomes Chucky's next victim.
Solid story.
And back in the cover would have sold me. The movie poster, that was the actual original movie poster.
Mhm.
I don't
It's a good
remember
one.
it. I did not see this in theaters. Obviously, I was too young.
Yeah, same.
But it's all right. Like you see the person, I guess, and that's the babysitter falling out the window.
It's a
and-
very 80s poster.
yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Child's Play is a 2019 horror rated R for language throughout and bloody horror violence, and comes in, I don't know if that's the exact same, hour and 27 minutes.
I think it is.
I think it is too. Now, Karen Barclay is played by Aubrey Plaza, who I love. She's awesome.
Mhm.
I like Brian Tyree Henry. He's Detective Mike Norris, Tim Matheson, and Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky, and directed by Lars Klevberg.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Klevberg.
This was he did a short and a commercial that got him this movie. So
Interesting.
yeah, and he only did one more movie after this. So I don't know. Taglines. More than a toy, he's your best friend.
No.
A boy's best friend.
No.
Friends to the end.
Maybe.
Prepare to meet your new best friend. They're really
No.
trying with this best friend thing.
If you're gonna do the best friend thing, you've got to make it creepy. This
Yes.
is all just the stuff you'd put on the box for a toy,
Yes.
not a killer toy.
Playtime is over. That's not
Yes.
bad. And that's it. Here's the synopsis for this one. After moving to a new city, young Andy Barclay receives a special present from his mother, a seemingly innocent buddy doll that becomes his best friend. When the doll suddenly takes on a life of its own, Andy unites with other neighborhood children to stop the sinister toy from wreaking bloody havoc.
Huh.
So it's a little different.
A little different, yeah.
Yeah. And here is, okay, I typed in original movie poster. I don't know which one is the actual movie poster. And Toy Story 4, like we saw, was coming out, and it was going to release on the same day. So they did a lot of play on that. So I think this is the original. This is the movie poster.
Mhm.
It's okay.
It's all right.
This one would be cooler, but this one is in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was before. I kind of like that one. I
That
think
one's
that's a
cool.
4-in-1. I kind of like that one too.
Actually, that one's pretty cool.
Yeah. I kind of like that one too. I like it better than the original one. Like they made some really cool posters before the actual
Yeah.
movie poster. There's Slinky Dog. There's the
Aw.
talking dinosaur. So they did a lot of play on Toy Story 4, which I thought
Yep.
didn't help, but I thought was kind of cool.
No, it's funny.
Yeah. Okay, so tail the tape. Now we go to my favorite. All right. I just because I've cut down on the amount, I'm only taking I usually would be like the 5 best, but I cut
Yeah.
them down a bit because it's a double. So we'll take turns after this. 51 critic reviews. This is for the 1988. It comes in at 73%.
Impressive.
And it has
Really
over
impressive.
it has over 250,000 audience scores on Rotten Tomatoes. That's 65%. That's impressive for an 88
Jeez.
movie.
Yeah.
The general critic consensus is Child's Play occasionally stumbles across its tonal tightrope of comedy and horror, but its genuinely creepy monster and some deft direction by Tom Holland make this chiller stand out on the shelf. So you can start.
I'm
So I
ready.
can read it. Here we go. Fresh.
Scary yet darkly funny, this thriller of the supernatural from the director of the terrific Fright Night movies moves with the speed of a bullet train and with style to burn. Kevin Thomas, Los Angeles Times. Wow, that was glowing.
There is definitely some silly stuff in this movie. When you're dealing with a 2-foot tall killer, it's hard to take things seriously. However, the movie's ace in the hole was Chucky himself. IGN Movie Editors, IGN Movies, original score 7 out of 10.
For what it is and the era in which it was forged, Child's Play is a solid scary movie. Christopher Null, filmcritic.com, original score 3.5 out of 5.
Child's Play is a cheerfully energetic horror film of the slam bang school, but slicker and more clever than most. Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times, original score 3 out of 4, and he is notorious for not liking horror movies.
Yeah,
Rotten.
impressive. Making a good horror thriller or even a good horror comedy is not Child's Play, as this schizoid film all too unfortunately proves. Dennis Fisher, Hollywood Reporter.
Is anyone ever going to make a really good movie about toys coming to life to kill people? TV Guide staff, TV Guide, original score 5 out of 10.
Dang. It is not funny enough to be a comedy, but not scary enough to be a horror either. It does, however, star a malevolent talking doll, which scores a lot of points in my book. Eric D. Snyder, ericdsnyder.com, original score C-.
I always thought this film was overrated by the Fangoria crowd.
Figoria.
Fangoria crowd. Brad Dourif's performance makes it worth a rental. Alex Sandel, Juicy Cerebellum,
Mhm.
original score 4 out of 10. All right, move to IMDb. 110,000 user rating. Give it 6.6. We will start through 10 through 6, being positive. You can start.
One of the genre's undisputed classics, 10 out of 10, Cannibal Corpse Grinder.
Nice. I like the name.
Yeah.
Every horror fan should play with Chucky at least once. 9 out of 10. Happy ending rocks.
The debut of everyone's favorite ginger-haired killer doll, 8 out of 10, B_kite.
Check the toys in your toy box just in case. 7 out of 10. Damian Phelps.
I think Chucky is Jack Nicholson. 6 out of 10. Sandro Martins Fiu.
Sorry. And now we are going through 5 to 1 for the not so good. As Krusty the Clown would say, that dummy doesn't scare me. 5 out of 10. Cool Line 14, referring to the Child's Play ripoff on the Simpsons episode, which I do remember very well.
I'm with D. Snyder on this one. It's a doll. Just friggin' step on it. 4 out of 10. Night of the Living Dawn.
And to think, when I was younger, I actually thought this movie was scary. 3 out of 10. The Dungeon Boss.
Now that's some terrible acting. 2 out of 10. Fibulator 777.
The concept is not even original. 1 out of 10. Enrique Sanchez 56. There were only 2 1 out of 10s on IMDb.
Oh wow.
And this was, and the other one I can't remember, but it was not a good, it was just, I think this is my review, something like that. So yeah, there wasn't even really much to choose from, and because one of the ones out of 10 are usually the fun.
Most creative.
Yeah, this was so okay. 2019 had 209 critic reviews I had to go through.
God bless.
But it gave it 63%.
That's a really good score.
Yeah, especially for a horror movie.
Yeah.
This only had 5,000 audience scores at 57%. And again, 57% for a horror movie could mean anything.
It's true.
Yeah. Critic consensus, Child's Play updates an 80s horror icon for the Internet of Things era with predictability, gruesome, and generally entertaining results.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I'm ready. Child's Play is a delightfully old school horror with a wicked sense of humor, some fun performances, and a sense of inventiveness that makes this remake a genuinely pleasant surprise. Andrew Godian, Vulture Hound, original score 4 out of 5.
Child's Play hides its ridiculous premise with excellent jokes, lots of blood, and an 80s vibe. Ricardo Gallegos?
Yeah.
Pulvora.
The Child's Play remake is not just a wickedly demented blast, but it's everything a remake should be. Dan Scully, Cinema 76.
You'll find yourself chuckling along at how gruesomely fun it all is, despite your best intentions not to. Brian Lloyd, entertainment.ie, original score 3 out of 5. The Rotten.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah.
You know how Chucky used to be a supernaturally possessed doll with the soul of a serial killer? Now he's a soulless robot, just like most of the film. Matt Chipola, Film Monthly, original score 2 out of 5.
In a nutshell, it isn't serious enough. It isn't funny enough. It isn't self-aware enough. Worst of all, it isn't the slightest bit scary. Keith Garlington, Keith and the Movies, original score 2 out of 5.
A hollow story populated by a laundry list of one-dimensional cliches. Lindsay Trav's nightmarish conjurings. Lindsay's harsh.
Yeah. Even Audrey Plaza and the voice of Luke Skywalker as Devil Doll Chucky can't save this botch reboot. Peter Travers, Rolling Stone, original score 2 out of 5. Luke Skywalker.
I preferred Chucky being demon possessed rather than a computer glitch. And bring back Brad Dourif as the voice of Chucky. Jackie K. Cooper, JackieKCooper.com, original score 4 out of 10.
That is an actual picture of Jackie K. Cooper. He's
Is
an
it?
old man. Yes, it's an old man, and his review sounds like an. I prefer Chucky being demon possessed. Bring back Brad Dourif. Just an old man angry
And
that
get
they
off
changed his
my
movie.
lawn.
Yeah,
It's okay. I mean, if that's his opinion, that's his opinion.
IMDb 55,000 user ratings. Give it 5.7.
That's not bad.
10 through 6 being the positive. I will start this time. My first review ever. 10 out of 10. Drazik 666. I thought there's a theme
Insightful.
here.
Actually, surprisingly fun. Please read. 9 out of 10. Grab money.
This movie and these this is Generation Z, and they're self-involved. Please read my review. Look at me. It's my first review. You're the worst generation. No, I'm just joking. Oh, this is mine. Sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, see, if I was Generation Z, I probably wouldn't have screwed this up. Child's Play is pure entertaining fun for the horror fan. 8 out of 10, Rob Follower.
Amazing. 8 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Block Crusher plays YD.
Oh, when I first saw that, I laughed. Amazing. 8 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Neither excellent nor terrible. Quit whining about logic. 6 out of 10. Happy Boy 49010.
Happy Boy knows what he's talking about.
All right, now we're going to 5 to 1 for the people that didn't like. There was a lot of these. Oh my god! And this had to be without a doubt. There was over 1,000 user reviews. That is the highest I've ever seen. Usually it's like a couple hundred for a really popular movie. Like I think there was like 400 and something for 30 Days of Night. There's over 1,000 for this one.
Jeez. It's better than the sequels, but that's not saying much. 5 out of 10. Kool-Aid Bro.
Kool-Aid Bro. Nope, not Chucky. 4 out of 10. Nikki Johnson 16955.
No. Just no. 3 out of 10. Paul Hawkinson. Hawkinson?
God, I hated this movie. 2 out of 10. Send it to an 85. I couldn't choose the 1 out of 10. I will let you read them all.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, there's a few.
This is a joke, right? The real Chucky comes out later? Rowans 38622. The most useless movie I've seen in decades. Lopsino. Anyone connected to this movie should be shot on sight, except for Mark Hamill.
Except
The
for Mark.
Enigma 129. If you rated this movie more than 3, I don't know what you watched. V. Singhavi. Go fuck yourself. Horror movie Maniac Man. Spoiler alert, it sucks. Sarah Batterson 1422.
There were a lot of 1 out of 10s to choose from. Now, to be fair, horror movie Maniac Man, he's already sounds like a pretty aggressive person.
Yeah, a little bit.
So
little
go
bit.
fuck yourself. Seems on par for horror movie
Yeah.
Maniac Man. All right.
Funny though. Excuse me.
Oh, okay. And finally, we will watch the trailers for both. So we'll do the 1988 first, and then we'll do 2019, and then we'll make our predictions. Sounds so
Everyone
80s.
has a birthday they'll
So 80s.
always remember.
Can we open my presents now, Mommy? A good guy! I knew it! I'm Chucky.
He's something, isn't he?
This is Andy's.
Time for bed, Andy. Good night, baby.
Good night, Aunt Maggie. Good night, Chucky.
Everyone knows most accidents happen at home.
How did that happen?
This is no accident.
I'm Detective Mike Norris, homicide. Miss Peterson's dead, Miss Barkley. She fell from the kitchen window.
Someone's moved in with the Barkley family, and so has terror.
Mommy, I know who was on the counter. Andy.
Who, Andy?
Chucky.
Nobody believes you about Chucky. He came alive in my hand.
Oh, for God's sake.
Why won't you believe me?
Because I'm sane, Mrs. Barkley, sane and rational.
No one believes the truth. Or lives to tell it. There's nothing nice about murder. And there's nothing innocent about child's play.
The doll is still super creepy.
Yeah, it still actually doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, it's weird that Chucky's head is bigger than the kid's head.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I'm going to feel about this movie.
It's weird because you can kind of see, because we watched Curse and Cult of Chucky
Mhm.
and Andy Barkley. You can kind of see him in that little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. The trailer was okay. Actually, the trailer wasn't bad. I think I'm gonna like it. I don't know if I'm going to, because I'm really used to the over-the-top Chuckies. Like I'm
Yeah.
watching the Chucky TV series right now, and I know this one's a little more mystery thriller.
Yeah.
But it's still looks okay. It looks good. I think I'm going to like it. I don't think I'm going to love it like I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to like it. I just don't know if I'm going to be scared of it or if it's going to creep me out. Like the doll is still creepy. A walking, talking doll is always creepy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, is it going to be one of those where I roll my eyes and I laugh through the whole thing and I'm like, it's a good time? Or is it, oh, wow, that was actually a little bit like suspenseful?
Yeah. Yeah.
That I'm not sure
because
about.
I'm pretty sure the other Chuckies were more of a good time. Like
Yeah.
he became like Freddy Krueger, and you were almost rooting for Chucky.
Yeah.
Curse of Chucky, actually, that we watched was a little more creepier.
hmm
Cult
It
of
was.
Chucky went the complete opposite way and
No.
went nuts.
That went straight for like camp and crazy.
Yeah.
And
But
I'm
Curse
all
of
here-
Chucky
but
was
Curse of Chucky was a
was
little
a
bit
creepy movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I
So
don't know what direction this movie's gonna go in. I think I'll like it. I'm just not sure how I'll like it. You know what I mean?
yeah. All right, let's take a look at. I didn't see this trailer. I'm sure I've seen the trailer, but I don't remember it. All right.
What's wrong with Chucky?
Andy, I know this move has been really tough, but this was supposed to be a new start for us, remember? You said you were going to try to make new friends.
Buddy can connect to and control all of your Caslin products and smart home devices. Introducing your new best friend.
Mom, I need to tell you something, and I need you to believe me. I think Chucky did something.
Andy, if you know something, you better tell me.
Something's wrong with Chucky.
Buddy can connect to and control all of your Caslin products.
Chucky is a toy.
He could be anywhere.
Welcome to Caslin Car.
We have to stop him. Chucky!
Good night, Andy.
That concept is way more terrifying to me.
Because of all the smart things.
Yeah, because it could actually happen, yo.
Yeah.
Like that is terrifying because you see it now as people start connecting more and more things. Like
Oh,
your
yeah.
house, your lights, your cable, your phone, your everything gets
Oh,
connected.
and the
I'm
new
like,
and all this AI stuff.
yeah, no, fuck that
As
shit.
an older person now, it's kind of like, were we warned about this, like in movies in the 80s and
Well,
90s, not to do this?
I literally said to someone, I have watched enough sci-fi movies where
Yeah.
the AI takes over
Yeah.
to know that AI is not a good idea.
No. Oh
But
yeah, we're
still,
definitely heading down
everybody's
that
like,
road.
chat
I'm just hoping
GPT.
I'm not around.
Oh God, I hope I'm dead before the AI
I
takes
hope, but
over.
I'm just old enough that I don't care, and I'm just
Mm.
around long enough to say, "We told you, told you."
Yeah.
Shut
But
up, old
I
man.
keep saying it. I keep saying it. I'm like, we have so much literature, film,
Yeah.
TV shows, like actual scientists being like, AI is not the greatest idea. And still people are like, look at this AI. And we're like, no, they're going to take over and we're all going to die. But
And
nobody
you
wants
actually
to
had
listen.
one of the smartest men on the planet, whether you like him or not, or agree with them, but Elon Musk said, if not handled properly, this can go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Like one of the
Physicists have said
smartest
that.
guys is telling us this
Computer
could go.
engineers. There are a multitude of exceptionally smart people
Yeah.
from this world, from the last like 20 years, who have basically said AI is not a good idea.
Yeah.
And still, they go.
Yeah.
This
Here we go,
reminds me of
merrily along.
my favorite motto is just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
AI falls into that.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah,
Yeah.
this feels scarier to me.
The trailer actually looks cool.
Yeah.
So from what we've seen, like the reviews, the hate, I am not going into this expecting Brad Dourif. That's a separate universe. This looks more like Five Nights at Freddy's toys going nuts because of the AI thing. That's the way I'm going to look at it. I'm not even going to look at this as a regular Child's Play movie. But it looks good.
See, this feels more like a reboot / reimagining than a
Yeah.
remake.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
it's definitely just updated because
Yeah.
yes, while there was, possessed by the soul of a serial killer for the first one, the 1988 version, I'm like, this is more like, well, if we don't throw in the possession, like
Yeah.
what can make a doll go nuts, and they're all like, AI,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, easy. Oh, easy.
Yeah, let's write this movie, and they did.
But this looks like a Toy Story, an actual place in the movie where they're at a toy store where there's slaughter. It looks like some kids are fighting back. It looks cool. Now, will it be cool? I don't know. We're gonna find out.
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
But I'm just gonna right now disassociate from any of the other stuff, any of the Chucky stuff.
They're two different movies. I think if it was a remake where they kept the soul possession thing, I think that's where people might have really got the hate on for the 2019 because you're looking at it as a remake. It's not a remake.
No, this is a reimagining.
It's a reimagining. Yeah.
And it looks like a cool reimagining, but we'll find out. Okay,
we'll find out if they executed right. The idea is great. Let's see if they did it right.
Yeah. So for the podcast, we are going to go watch two what looks similar while also looking vastly different Child's Play movies. And when we come back, we will see how they fare and which one is actually better. And for those listening or watching live, please watch Child's Play 1988 and 2019 sometime this week and come back and see if you agree with us. So, yeah. So that's it.
Just so
is anything you want to
Labor Day
add?
week. It's Labor Day weekend this weekend, so it is actually a long weekend, so we can do the double feature and not stay up too late. So if everybody wants to go watch it, you have an extra day to get it in. You can watch these both during the day just in case you get scared.
Yeah, actually, this weekend is our last drive-in podcast, which is Sleepaway Camp 2 and Halloween Resurrection. Oh, and next week we will be, I wrote it. Oh, shit. We'll be reviewing Child's Play. Oh, we will be previewing Return of the Living Dead from 1985.
It has been a while since I've seen that one.
Long time. But I do remember loving that movie.
I think it's been at least a decade for me. I think the last time I saw it was with my brother-in-law. And just because they had it on TV. But yeah, at least a decade.
Did you like we'll talk about
That's for next week, okay, sir? That's for next week.
All right. So that's it for us.